What is project lifecycle? What is project phase? What is the difference between a life cycle and a phase? You might know these things, but do you know what's the difference between a project phase and a process group? Let's figure it out. Hey, this is Praveen Malik from PMBOK.com, your ultimate resource for the PMP exam prep. I have made it my mission to help you pass the PMP exam in your first try. Today I'm going to talk about process group, phase, and project life cycle. Stay tuned till the end of this video and I'll share a real life example with you. Before you go ahead, please subscribe to this channel and click on bell icon. This way, whenever I release a new informative video, you'll get an instant notification. Do you remember our sample project from the knowledge area video? You might not. If you don't, please click on the card above. Our project was to go on a vacation with a large family. If you have to go on a vacation, how would you do this project? You might divide the whole project into 3 different stages. These stages would be at home, while traveling, and back to home after the vacation. You might do a number of activities during these stages. These activities can be categorized under 5 heads: initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. Now, let's take a look at some example of these activities. So when you are at home, you might do some executing activities. For example, you would book the tickets, you will buy the insurance, etc. When you are traveling, you might do some other activities like actually traveling, sightseeing. When you're back to home, you might create some albums and share it with your family members or extended family. So these are some of the executing activities. But I have left some blanks here. Can you figure out what kind of initiating activities, what kind of planning activities, what kind of monitoring and controlling activities and closing activities you will do in the other stages? Please comment below. I would love to hear your answers. So what is a project life cycle? A project life cycle is a collection of phases, or as we saw in our last slide, a collection of stages. Phases and stages are one and the same thing. A project life cycle depends on the nature of the project, the industry, the methodology, and many more things. So what is a project phase? A project phase is a span of time which culminates into one or more deliverables. Generally, the output of first phase becomes the input to the second phase. Generally, the phases are sequential, but they can overlap also. At the end of the phase, we do a review to ascertain whether the phase is complete or not complete. So let's take an example of life cycle and phases. Let's consider 3 types of projects: a building construction project, a software development project, and a new machine development project. So what kind of phases will be there in these projects? The phases could be concept, define, design, construct, and commission. Now these are the generic names, but let's look at some specific names. For example, in building construction project, concept phase could be called feasibility study phase. The define phase could be called requirements gathering or requirements collection phase. The design phase could be called architecture development phase. And construction phase could be called build or construct phase. And commissioning phase could be called handover. Similarly, you have different names in software development and new machine development industries. Do you have a different name for these phases? Please comment below. I would love to hear your answers. So what's the relationship between a phase and a process group? A process group resides inside a phase. So all 5 process groups reside inside a single phase. These process groups are called initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. You might remember these process groups from our video on process groups. If you don't, you can click on the card above to look at this video. Let's look at the life cycle and the process groups. So we saw our 5 phases in a project life cycle, which is concept, define, design, construct, and commission. This is a generic life cycle. In this, a particular phase is called design phase. The design phase could be designed for anything. It could be software development design, it could be building architectural design, it could be a new machine development design, or anything else. Now, in this design phase, we will have the 5 process groups, which is initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. So what does it mean? It means that the design phase will start with some initiating activities. For example, announcing it to the world that we are starting the design phase, holding a meeting for the announcement, sending a formal document to customers, to the other stakeholders saying that we are starting with the design activities. Then we go to the planning. Now, planning activities would include how many resources are needed, what kind of resources are needed, how much time is needed, how much cost is needed, what kind of design documents will be produced in the design phase. So these are all planning activities. We are planning to do the whole design phase. Then we're talking about the executing. Execution means actually doing some work, which means actually creating some design documents like blueprints, architecture design, database design, etc. And then we are talking about monitoring and controlling. Monitoring and controlling means actually monitoring what is really happening or not happening. For example, are we on time? Are we using the appropriate resources? Have we used the budget, etc.? Then we'll formally close off by using some closing activities. For example, formally telling it to the world that is, we have completed the design phase and nothing more to be done. Now we can move over to the construction phase. So that's all, folks. This is the relationship between life cycle, process groups, and phases. The process groups and phases are definitely different from each other. Don't confuse between the two. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. You can follow me on other social media channels like LinkedIn, Facebook, and Quora. You can find the links in the description below. Before you go, please like this video and share it with your friends. Please also subscribe to this channel. Thank you once again.